Hello everybody and welcome to the Bailey and
Eating Show. Alright, right now we have a guy that's been on several films. As far as I know, he's been Chicago PD, Chicago... Oh no, he's been on Chicago.
Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago
whatever,
PD.
and he's also been in Empire also. So basically, I'd like to introduce to you Mike Hullab. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, guys. Good to see you. Glad to be on the show with you today.
Thank you. Just want to let you know, thanks for being online with us. Hopefully we can actually have you come out and actually sit with us. But so basically, just tell us what you've been on. You've been on some TV series. Can you just kind of explain to us or anybody else what was it like, and did you meet any celebrities that was on the TV show and on stuff like that? So
Besides me.
I actually started doing this maybe about a year and a half ago. Prior to that, going back 6 years, I was an extra. I was hired as a police officer on the movie Public Enemies, the Johnny Depp film about John Dillinger. And that director hires police officers to play police officers, firefighters to play firefighters, so on and so forth. And he really liked the fact that officers know how to wear a pistol belt, they know how to conduct themselves. And that kind of gave me a little taste of what was to come. And then actually did some industrial films with Central Illinois Film Commission. They did some Department of Defense videos, and then that sprungboarded me into all the opportunities that come to me through CineSpace Studios. I live up in the north part of the state, not too far from CineSpace, and everything with the Chicago preface is shot up here. Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Justice, which is now canceled, but I was on Justice, and also Empire, which takes place in New York, but it's actually filmed here in Chicago. So I started getting myself known, got connected with several of the casting agencies that booked for those series, and I have a certain look. They want the look of either I get booked as a trauma surgeon or the lawyer on Empire, or the alderman on Chicago Fire, and someone says that they have a lot of young model-looking people on the female and the male side. And then every once in a while they need a mature face, which I think was a nice way for him to say an elder statesman, I think. And so yeah, I started working on those shows and working out in various roles, and I had not only the well-known background extra role where you're one of 500 people or 100 people in a restaurant, but I've also had some featured extra roles where many times you'll get booked for an appearance, and then the director will like your look, the producer will like the way you appear, and you will get selected to be a featured extra. And there's oftentimes a little bit more money, but more importantly, you're probably going to be interacting with one of the major stars in a more significant scene. Still not a SAG role where you're doing speaking parts, but you're going to probably have some significant interaction. And I've done that on Empire a few times where I've been in a featured role. I think the first time was with Felicia Rashad. A lot of people know her from her television appearances over the years, but she played the mother of Kate Diggs, who was the New York City mayor at the time. On the show Empire, and I was featured extra. I was interacting with her. She was on a television show, and my featured role was the director of this television show. And then I've gone on to do that with a number of other stars, the main characters in PD or the main characters in Fire stuff. So, what's it like? Rules for background extras are that you don't interact with the main stars. It's not because you're insignificant at first, but maybe that featured actor is trying to get in their head what their next line is or what their next scene is. So they ask you not to interact with them. However, if they interact with you, feel free to discuss and talk with them. And I found out that all the cast members, the main cast members on all those shows, are really quite open. They will have a conversation with you. They will engage with you. They don't just ignore you and walk away. And I've had some conversations. For example, I was on an episode of PD one time, not as a featured extra, but just as someone walking through the hallway who was going to be arrested, and it looked like what they were setting up with my background before doing this was in law enforcement. It looked like to me like a bad scenario for the police to be in. They were going to rush this facility, come in from both opposite ends. Of course, that's a crossfire situation. And I just kind of under my breath, I mentioned it to one of the PA production assistants, and I said, "This is a crossfire." And Jason Bagby, the main star, he overheard me, and with his gravelly voice, I heard him say, "Oh, who's that guy?" And I said, "I'm a retired law enforcement." I hear the director and the assistant director trying to line up the shot, but people who are really police will notice that this is a bad scenario. You don't have people come in. You might do it at a 90-degree angle and then control your exit points. So someone else heard me say, "That's a good idea." And, "Who are you again?" And I said, "Well, I'm just this guy. I'm just this guy who's here today, but noticing that this is probably not technically correct." So they did take my advice, but I was cautious because you can be asked to leave a set easily if you go over the boundaries a little bit. So I always tell people, if you are doing that kind of stuff, don't go up and start introducing yourself and say, "Hey, I'm Bill, Mike, Steve, whatever," and stick your 2 cents in where it may not be appreciated. I saw the opportunity and it looked like it did, so I did say it, but I didn't say it where I was offending or demeaning or anything else, because I recognize these are productions. Sometimes the 100% accurate thing of law enforcement may not be exactly what's best portrayed on television. So I was pretty cautious about it. But more than anything else, I enjoy the other people that I meet. I enjoy meeting the cast members, the crew. Those sets in particular at CineSpace have people that are very open and they're great personalities and they're fun to work with. Long days, so if you're considering being an actor on extra, I think Bill, in particular, on Empire, if you go to Empire, you're going to be there 14 hours, maybe 16 hours. So.
Try to take a normal group photo, and stuff, but basically, okay, we kind of went off base there, I feel like Jimmy Fallon in a way, but going off sync, but no, we just want to tell everyone, as I call you, Mr. H.
Mr. H.
Is part of the Baiting and Getting show, and he's a retired chief of police, or just police?
Yep, chief of police. Yep.
Chief of police, bigwig.
Well, good.
Does all the military stuff, cool stuff,
As being a former chief of police, so basically he could probably find us like a little area to film the inside of a police station, maybe. Kinda.
Well, Bill and I are familiar with another project we're working on, and I did that. I got them involved, and the guy said to me, "I'd like a place like XYZ Police Department." I said, "Oh, how about an XYZ Police Department? I happen to know the chief there." So, I know a few Central and police chiefs and sheriffs and stuff, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, that would sit, because I know the big thing is we've got a lot of good reviews and people wanting Lock and Load, and nothing sits it better than having some good sits. When people are like, "Wow, man, how them guys do that?" Because we're a couple people from Illinois. I mean, it's not like we're millionaires. Well, at least as far as nobody knows. But we can't tell them our secrets.
I'll speak for myself, no. My
But-
ex-wife, the other detective, got all my dough in my car.
True. Well, you know what? Maybe that's why Detective Lode's a little bitter in a way and uptight. You know, because the ex is trying to get the car.
Yep.
So.
What do you mean by that? I'm not bitter.
I'm not better.
Bull butter.
No, God, don't start bull butter again with that. I'm signing you a new agent. Bull butter!
All right, we won't use that. It was just funny. There's one of these things that my uncle and younger brother always said about anything. You know, it wasn't like bull crap or nothing like that. If you said something, it was bull butter. It's like, okay, I've never heard of bull butter, but it was like a mixture of words, new word. Maybe we'll start a new trend. You know.
Well, maybe we should go get a bowl and see if we can make some butter out of it, and then we can promote on butter.
Long story short, you know, people have a catchphrase of some type or word. You know, Schwarzenegger's got "I'll be back." You know,
Joe
Stallone, Idris, you know, or whatever his Rambo one is too. But
if we give him Joe Lowe, it'd be like, "Hello, I'm Joe, and I can load." Joe, my name is Joe Lowe.
no, it's not a Cinemax movie. It's not. It's not.
Cinemax.
I know you're like, what's Cinemax? Eh.
Hello, I'm Joe Lowe.
Or when I was growing up, it was Skinemax.
Skinemax?
Because if you stayed up,
You're right, it was kind of. It was kind
Skinemax?
Skinemax, if you stayed up past 10 o'clock, when we had it when I was younger, it showed a lot of skin.
Skinemax.
Yeah,
Okay, Skinemax.
It showed a lot of female skin.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, when you're young, it was like, whoa! You know how many people I had that I wasn't good friends with, maybe just know of somewhat for years in school, grade school, that begged me to spend the night at my house because they knew we had cable. They knew we had HBO and that stuff. And boy, their parents would probably be kicking my butt now or smacking around, whatever, saying something because, I mean, just, I don't know. I mean,
Well, Skinemax, well, I guess the thing is, it was kind of funny the other day. I just remember this, is that I guess I was sitting here with my son, and it was late at night, 10, 11 o'clock, you know, it's weekend, you know, I let him up, he couldn't sleep right now, so we went through channels, and it came to this thing, and the bottom of the screen, it shows like a preview of the next movie or whatever that you're scrolling through, and it came to the Skinemax, and I wasn't paying attention, and he looks at me and goes, "Daddy, what was that?" I go, "What was what?" He goes, "Those two people on top of each other." I'm like, I don't know. I can't find it no more.
Yeah.
I'm like, you'll learn that in high school.
okay, so real quick before
All
we
right,
go,
all
we
right,
don't want to
sir.
keep you too much time because you're a busy man. You know, I thought I was busy, but you didn't make me look like I'm lazy. So after doing all your good work that we're thankful for, I guess the question as far as in the filming stuff, what piqued your interest into getting into this?
You know, I had a couple of said the first time that I did a little background role on that Public Enemy movie, that kind of got me interested. I've always been a photographer, kind of a avid amateur, I would call myself. I was the crime scene photographer. My father was a professional portrait photographer. Taught me
Crime scene.
photos, photography, and cameras at a young age. But I learned on a 4x5. So when I became a police officer, they said, "Hey, if you know how to take pictures, you're going to be the evidence crime scene photographer." And that's what I did for 50 years.
Wow.
And so, you know, photography's always been interested. So when I would be on the scene, I'd see them setting up lighting scenarios, and I'd see them setting up different lens. You know, you'd overhear somebody talking about Kelvin degrees on a lighting picture, and you'd hear somebody talking about an f-stop. That was always kind of fun for me to see that. And then I had a couple friends. One that I met through a military unit, and one who was actually in a military unit with me. I met them, and they're close to my age, a little younger than me, but got to talking about them, and both of them talked about, doing some stuff, and said, well, why don't you try some stuff and see if you're interested in it? Had you ever worked undercover as a police officer? And I said, yeah, I did. I said, well, what did you do? And I said, I worked narcotics cases. They said, well, essentially, you were acting. But you were trying to convince somebody either to buy drugs from you or sell dope to you, right? So that was acting. And, we're oversimplifying it, but, think about it. And so I did. And actually, Steve was helping with one little project where I was doing a role as a therapist. And, I called one of my friends and I asked him for some insights on how I might better prepare for it. And, I took his cues and some of his things, and frankly, I was a little concerned about memorizing lines. And I think in that particular one, there was 70 some odd lines, or if I'm not mistaken. So there was a lot of dialogue, and I was freaking out about it. So, I don't know. I never did have a great memory, and it certainly in my senior status, memory went down a little bit, right? But so I think that just interested me, and then meeting all the different personalities, and like when you work on one of these sets, Bill, you meet so many people from different aspects of life. I helped a couple people early on, in between when I did that one thing with the Public Enemies, and when I started doing other things with CineSpace. I had been the advisor on a couple of scripts, a couple of books that were written where people would say, hey, have I portrayed the crime scene correctly? Is that how they would gather evidence, or would they do this, or would they do a footprint, or those kind of things? So that was intriguing to me to see how my advice then either was portrayed in a book or came out in a film project or a script. And then again, the next step, which I talked about earlier, was getting involved as a background extra, portraying some of these roles. So it's been fun for me. I never planned it as a second career or anything like that, but the cross-section of people that I've met has just been all dynamic people. They're all dynamic people. It's been fun.
No, that's great. I mean, I know, I feel you on that. I mean, I enjoy it, and I meet a lot of people, and I don't have a lot of great stories like you have. I mean,
I don't either.
Well, I tell you, my niece,
I got some,
I
but
called her one day because Med was looking for like a 10-year-old girl with braces, and that was my niece's daughter. So I said, do you think that she would do it? She said yes, and she got her daughter in at the time. They called her back, and then they told my niece, we want you to come too because we want a parent there. And so my niece got her first piece of it. Now she's doing background stuff. And right towards the end of the season, I was working on Empire, and it was the season finale, and there was a lot of scenes and such. But fast forward to when we're checking in that morning, she looks over at me, and then she says something about, oh, Uncle Mike. And the guy sitting next to me said, oh, that's a little creepy. And I said, wait a minute, no. Her mom's my sister. She really is my niece. I am her uncle. I guess he thought it was some kind of little sugar daddy reference. So I've actually been able to work on a couple of these sets with my own niece. That's a big
no, that's awesome. But okay, well, any other questions, Mr. Giddings?
I don't have anything. I mean, we did a couple trailers for Studio G Productions, but the whole thing with the boy named Austin. I mean, the writer didn't actually, he just didn't want to do it. So that's why I just want to let Mike know that it wasn't him. It wasn't anybody else. It was just basically I didn't have a writer. The writer just quit on me, so I couldn't finish it up. So I just want to let you know that there's nothing with you or nothing like that. So other than that, I don't have anything.
I didn't suspect that because you were dead on when we talked about gigs and filming and rehearsals and getting these scripts. That was perfect on that. Yeah, I never suspected that.
Well, we'll tag you on the page and all that stuff. So
Yeah, just you're on camera right now, so basically just go ahead and give us a salute to BG Talk Show, and thanks for coming with us.
All right. to see some really good stuff about some upcoming videos like lock and load, I'll be one of those guys. Tune them in. Bailings and Giddings YouTube channel.
Awesome. Thanks, you Mike.
That's better than mine. Dang.
That's better than anybody's.
I'm gonna have to retire. But
All right. Awesome.
all right, man. Have a good weekend.
Okay, guys. You too.
Take care. All right, later, man.
Thanks.
Peace out. Oh wait, I'm looking for my other phone and I'm talking on it.